Good evening, everyone. This is Anthony, Wall Street Trader. It's 8:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, September 20th, 2021. Let's get into this quickly. Got a lot of people to update tonight. This is not financial advice. The video is intended for educational purposes only. Click the subscribe and the bell if you want to be notified when these videos come out. Click the thumbs up also. Share the video. Get people to be aware of the greatness of the graph. That's what we're talking about right now. Intraday updates are on the Twitter link below the video. Look below the video. Now, let's go take a look at the graph relative to the dollar. Very, very clear. Very clear. Lost my chance to pick it up at 76 cents because I was sleeping. And honestly, everything started falling out of nowhere overnight. Didn't have any limit orders in either. However, that being said, we cut through it pretty quickly. And even if I was going to buy it, I would have had to have taken a little bit of pause there because of the precipitous action this thing was taking. As a macro level event. Now, we kind of came all the way down over to this line here. Now, let's just talk about a couple things. Number one, what's the macro event? Stock market, China. China with the whole Evergrande thing, that coupled with the Fed tapering news coming out this week, all of this combination, very negative news for the stock market. That bled into the stock market, or like 2-3%. That bleeds into altcoin market. Why? Because retail folks run for the hills first, and that's what we do best. So that's exactly what happened. So Bitcoin took a spill, but altcoins got slaughtered more, and we're going to go into that in a second. But let's talk about the graph because that's what you're all here to hear about. So right now, where are we at? So let's take a look. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so everyone can see where I think we might land up next. Now, this horizontal line that I have my mouse cursor over right now, what is this horizontal line? This horizontal line is support, resistance, support, support, support. Now, let's see. If this support holds, great. However, this is not the graph performance at this point. This isn't even Bitcoin performance at this point. This is macro event situation point. That's where we're kind of at right now. So what we don't typically factor into these videos is all the other stuff going on in a worldly nature. We typically talk about Bitcoin and how the graph is to itself and stuff like that. But there is other aspects of the stock market that does impact the crypto market. Investors are investors. If you're scared to invest, you're going to sell out of everything. And that's what some people do. And that's why you're seeing negative price action today. I expect we're going to have it over the next couple of weeks, and I'll tell you why in a second. But let's just understand a couple of things. Number one, this could be a support area right here. 64 cents is where I'm thinking this thing could wind up, resolving itself and kind of regain its footing. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm 50-50 at this point, just given everything else going on and the fact that we're going to be in this rut for a couple of weeks. Therefore, with that in mind, I think we could be going down to 56, potentially. Again, 50-50. I don't know. We may know by tomorrow if this is the next one, or if, God forbid, there's something even lower than that. But right now, I'm thinking one spot you might want to, if you don't have any graph, I'd say 64. I'd put 20% right here at 64 cents, another 20% at 56 cents. Now, this is why I'm thinking of that 56 cent handle. Let's zoom out of this thing a little more, and let's take a look. This is support, 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 and now again, if this passes this horizontal line, we could go down to 56 cents. Worst case scenario, the next spot below that would be even worse, but I'm not anticipating we're going to even be thinking about that right now. But anything's possible, and I don't think we'll hit 45 cents. We were just there not too long ago, less than a couple of months ago. And we were even less than that. We were like 42 cents. So look, here's the deal. If you want to get into the graph, my strong suggestion is layer in. Do not put all of it in all at once. If you've been layering in through time, you definitely have a better cost average. I personally am already 100% into the graph, but I will go in a lot harder than that if we see this thing really hit, the bee's knees, the sweet spot right here. I'll definitely put another 25%, which would put me 25% above my risk tolerance for this, but I think the reward is good. So I'd put another 25% at 55, 56 cents. In the meantime, the graph relative to Bitcoin, look, we are 15% away from hitting this horizontal line right here. So without going through the numbers, this is the horizontal lines around 1,400. So it's around 15% 13 to 15% roughly below. So that kind of foots with where the graph would be if we hit 56 cents in terms of dollars. Now let's look over at Bitcoin real quickly. Number one, Bitcoin getting slaughtered. Not so worried about Bitcoin long term either, but you have to kind of look at what's going on here so that you have some better idea. Now, if you look over here, what's interesting is this kind of consolidated, and then there was this giant downturn. This was that horizontal period right here. So we had that giant downturn in the middle of this period of time until it broke out again. I think we're in the middle of this period of time. I think this whole problem goes on until sometime probably in the next week and a half. Probably early October, this whole thing ends. I think the same thing will happen with the stock market. I think everything in general as assets are, as we get more de-risking in the environment, you're going to see a lot more selling. So look, it could very easily happen that we go sideways choppy. We may go down a little bit more, but I think we're midway through this cycle, and we have to see, we just have to keep monitoring this on a daily basis. So I'll be definitely tweeting out more, but I'll probably be doing these videos daily until we get through this. Make sure you guys are all, up to date on where we are. But I think overall, there's no big concern here, especially if you're a long-term investor. I say this all the time. If you're a long-term investor, you want to get a really good price on something. Cryptos you can't get it better than cryptos. I think you can get the best prices with cryptos because of the volatility that these cryptos provide. Anyway, let's look at the Bitcoin dominance, which is the other thing I wanted to get to. Now, number one, we definitely started going up. Now we're in this channel going up on Bitcoin dominance, which means there's a lot more fear in the altcoin market because the overall crypto market capitalization went down. That means people are selling, but they're selling their altcoins faster or moving their altcoins to Bitcoin faster. One of those two things, but certainly it means altcoin market value is shrinking faster than Bitcoin. And that's kind of normal, especially with major market plunges like today in the stock market. You're going to get a lot of retail fear. The most fearful people in the world are not institutions. They are people because you put your own money into it. An institution is not that scared because it's not their own money. They're investing other people's money. So just remember that as you think about this, about fear in the market. So I'm not scared about it. You have to ride out the short-term volatility. That's what good money managers do. But anyway, I'm out. Hope everyone's safe. Take it easy.